Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd Chrisley angers fans with lack of accountability. Chrisley knows best. Star Todd Chrisley has just been pardoned and released from prison, yet fans and followers are angered. They feel that he is lacking accountability for anything that he may have done. So, what are they saying after he spoke out for the first time? Keep reading for more details. Todd Chrisley angers fans with lack of accountability. 2 days after his prison release, Todd Chrisley spoke to the press about being pardoned and now being free. His daughter, Savannah Chrisley, was by his side as well as his lawyer, and he looked amazing. Todd was clearly freshened up, healthy, and thrilled to have been released from prison. At the same time, he maintained he had nothing to be remorseful for. Todd stated that he did nothing wrong, while Savannah chimed in that this was a corrupt case. They wanted to take someone high-profile down and targeted her parents. Unfortunately, not everyone was thrilled with Todd's behavior at the press conference. They felt that he did not take any accountability for anything he may have done. He stood on this even though he and his wife, Julie Chrisley, were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. They allegedly defrauded banks of around $30 million, which is no small potatoes. One follower had this to say about Todd: "No accountability taken at all. I was looking forward to at least some sort of remorse, but this press conference really just proves that they really feel like they didn't do anything wrong." Fans who watched believe that Todd Chrisley should have acted as if he were slightly remorseful for any pain and suffering. However, that did not happen in any capacity, and again, he felt that he was the victim of a witch hunt. Todd also took the time to promote his new family show, along with Savannah. They explained cameras picked back up as soon as the pardon phone call came in from President Trump. It should premiere later in 2025 and will show Todd and Julie reuniting. Can he please feel bad? Having Savannah and Todd Chrisley place the blame of what happened on everyone else was a hard pill for fans to swallow. They did not think that it was a good look for him at all, and he ended up looking horrid. At the same time, many could not get over how amazing Todd looked just 2 days out. Of course, some fans held true to Todd Chrisley and his family, believing they were innocent and would go on to make a difference. Todd Chrisley once ruled reality TV with a southern charm so thick you could spread it on biscuits, but lately that charm seems to have curdled. After months behind bars and a social media silence that only fueled speculation, Todd has finally begun speaking out. But not in the way many fans had hoped. Instead of offering apologies or accepting blame, the former Chrisley knows best star appears to be pointing fingers and dodging responsibility, and his fans are not having it. Poor me or plain denial. When Todd Chrisley resurfaced via a prison phone call turned podcast episode featuring his daughter Savannah, many expected at least a sliver of remorse. After all, this is a man convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. A man who once flaunted a life of luxury on national television while allegedly cheating the system behind the scenes. Instead, what they got was Todd playing the victim. In the podcast, Todd painted himself as the target of a corrupt system, repeatedly claiming he was lied to, set up, and betrayed by the government. He insisted he never meant to defraud anyone and questioned the motives of the people who testified against him. Fans tuned in, expecting confessions. They got conspiracies instead. "I am not perfect," he admitted, "but I'm not a criminal." For many, that was the final straw. Fans call out the deflection. Social media quickly lit up with criticism. Loyal viewers who had once chuckled at Todd's over-the-top parenting and witty one-liners were now accusing him of lacking one key quality: accountability. One fan wrote on Twitter, "I supported the Chrisleys for years, but this is insulting. Todd still refuses to admit what he did wrong." Another added, "He wants us to believe he was framed? Come on. We all watched him brag about his money for a decade. The sentiment was clear. People weren't expecting a perfect man, just an honest one. Instead, they felt like Todd was doubling down on denial and dragging his family along for the ride. The Chrisley brand cracks. Part of the reason fans are so disappointed is because they felt invested in the Chrisley family's rise. When Chrisley Knows Best debuted, it was a breath of fresh air in a sea of reality TV chaos. The Chrisleys were loud, stylish, and always a little dramatic, but there was a deep current of family loyalty that seemed genuine. Todd was the overprotective dad with a snappy sense of humor. His wife, Julie, was the calm in the storm. Together, they felt like the Southern power couple next door. The kind you could borrow sugar from, even if it came with a side of sass. But the illusion of perfection shattered when the federal indictments dropped in 2019, followed by their convictions in 2022. Suddenly, all the designer clothes, luxury cars, and multi-million-dollar homes looked less like success stories and more like red flags. Now, as Todd clings to his version of events from behind prison walls, the family brand, once synonymous with glitz, glam, and good old Southern values, is beginning to feel irreparably cracked. Savannah caught in the crossfire. Savannah Chrisley has emerged as the family's de facto spokesperson, using her podcast and social media platforms to defend her parents and speak about their time in prison. But her repeated emphasis on their unjust treatment has begun to wear thin with fans who want transparency, not damage control. Some see her as a loving daughter doing what she can. Others say she's enabling her father's lack of responsibility. "She's in a tough spot," one fan commented. But constantly telling us her dad is innocent without acknowledging the facts makes it harder to sympathize. Savannah has shared emotional updates about how the family has struggled in Todd and Julie's absence, especially her new role as guardian to her younger siblings. But the more she insists on their innocence without acknowledging their convictions, the more frustrated viewers become. A missed redemption arc. Reality TV is no stranger to scandal. In fact, many celebrities have managed to stage successful comebacks by doing one thing: owning up to their mistakes. Whether it's a tearful apology on a talk show or a carefully worded statement, fans tend to be forgiving when they feel someone is being real. Todd Chrisley had a golden opportunity for a redemption arc. He could have expressed regret. He could have shown humility. He could have acknowledged that his actions, whether intentional or negligent, hurt people, including his own family. Instead, he chose deflection. In doing so, he not only angered his fans, but he also missed the chance to reshape his narrative. What could have been a story about growth and second chances is quickly becoming one about arrogance and delusion. What comes next? With years left on his sentence, Todd Chrisley still has time to reflect. But if he continues down the current path, he may return to the public eye one day with far fewer supporters than when he left it. Fans don't demand perfection. They don't even demand innocence. What they want is honesty, accountability, some shred of acknowledgement that the person they cheered for on TV is willing to look in the mirror and say, "I messed up." Until then, the gap between the man Todd thinks he is and the man the public sees will only grow wider. Final thoughts. It's one thing to fall. It's another to deny that you ever tripped in the first place. Todd Chrisley may still believe that he's the victim in this story, but his audience has seen enough to write their own ending. And for now, it's not looking like a comeback tale. It's looking more like a cautionary one. As one fan put it bluntly, "We were rooting for you, Todd. But if you can't admit what you did, we're changing the channel."